Next, tragedy strikes, accidents happen. Be there when the calls come in. It's back-to-back episodes of Rescue 911. Next on Discovery Health Channel.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911, a kidney donor is found for a sick and dying man.
He can't miss this chance. It could be years before they find another kidney for him.
Watch a news crew go the extra mile to find the missing patient and get him to the hospital on time. Rescue 911.
When 47-year-old Charles Ridgway was told that his kidneys were failing, he knew he might have just heard his own death sentence. Charles' blood type was so rare, he might die before a kidney could be found that was a good match for him. Encouraged to lead as normal a life as possible while he waited for a donor, Charles went camping with his family on March 25th in a remote corner of California. At 6:30 that evening, a matching kidney suddenly became available. If Charles was not found and brought to the hospital within 12 hours, he just might miss his last chance at life.
KNX is appealing to its listeners for help in the hope that it may save a life. Anaheim resident Charles Ridgway is in desperate need of a kidney transplant. At this hour, he's supposed to be camping in the Imperial County community of Galamus. He has been awaiting for a donor kidney, and one has just become available.
Calls for help had gone out all over Southern California, including one to news helicopter pilot Bob Turr.
It was the night before Easter, and I was at home with my wife, my 2 kids, and we got a phone call from the Orange County Search and Rescue people. And they were hoping that KNX News Radio would do a story on Charles Ridgway being missing and about the kidney. Nobody called in with any information, and about 11:30 we became very, very edgy, and I told my wife that maybe I should go down there with a helicopter and see if I can locate him. After all, how big could Glamis be?
Bob contacted Charles' son, Matt Ridgway. Knowing how desperate his father was, Matt was also thinking of going to look for him.
I guess my first reaction was shock, and all I could think of was, he can't miss this chance. If he misses this chance, it could be years before they find another kidney for him.
Tomorrow, follow true stories of patients leaving the hospital with more souvenirs from surgery than just stitches. Don't miss When Surgical Tools Get Left Behind. Tomorrow on Discovery Health Channel.
Orange County Search and Rescue, right?
Gary Stockdale with Orange County Search and Rescue was coordinating the search for Charles Ridgway.
We had learned from Imperial County Sheriff that there are approximately 30,000 people camping in Glamis. They'd really be unable to just go out and find him. We had had a window of 6 a.m. that he needed to be back into Western Medical Center for the kidney. And we were just simply running out of time with the resources that were available to us.
When the local sheriffs and rangers gave up the search, Matt and a cousin set out to find his father before it was too late.
When we reached Glamis, we saw hundreds of ATVs, hundreds of white trailers, and that was our description. Look for a white trailer with 2 red ATVs. There were hundreds, and they were everywhere. We just didn't know where to start. We turned on our night sun and we started looking around. I would get on the loudspeaker and I would say, Charles Ridgway, we have your kidney.
Charles Ridgway, we've got your kidney. Charles Ridgway.
People were looking at us like we were from another planet.
After driving at speeds up to 100 miles an hour, Matt reached the campgrounds.
There's a dirt road that goes off the main highway, and we started going down the road searching for my father.
But at dune number 20, Matt's truck got stuck in the sand. Up in the helicopter, Bob Turr had problems of his own.
Trying to look at 200, 300 ATVs with license plates is near impossible. Also, our search fuel was becoming very low. We could see far off in the distance a light in the sky roaming around, and we knew that it was Bob Turr in his helicopter. We got to the campsite with some trailers in it and started pounding on the door of one trailer. And a gentleman was nice enough to come out and
and help us. We pointed to the helicopter and said, we need to get to that helicopter. I jumped on the back and off we went, chasing after the helicopter.
For some reason, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a light flashing in the distance a few miles out. And we saw a red ATV with 2 people on it. The people aboard the ATV were waving frantically at us. We got on the loudspeaker and said, you know, do you know Charles Ridgway?
Bob Tour hopped out of the helicopter and ran over to me, and I introduced myself.
Yeah, I'm Matt Ridgway. I'm his son. Okay.
Matt would be able to recognize his family's camper from the air.
Stay on the ground. Need radio contact, man. Come with us.
But Bob had only 10 minutes of fuel left before he would have to turn back. This was Charles' last chance.
We took off, started going south, went past the truck, which I'd left the lights on so that we could see it again. And just a little ways past the truck, we spotted my mom and dad's trailer. And I started screaming, that's them, there they are, sit down, go, that's them. And Bob Tour told me to jump out and wake my dad up.
We were very low on fuel, and I knew that we didn't have any time for any family reunions. And I yelled, we've got to go now. If you have to come naked, you're coming.
It happened so fast, and I just broke down and cried. Matt was standing there, so we put our arms around each other, and he said, hey, it's good news, you know.
We got Ridgway aboard the copter, took off, and started heading over to the airport, where we were to meet an Orange County search and rescue team member with an airplane.
Charles Ridgway made it to the hospital in Santa Ana by 5:45 a.m. and received his kidney transplant.
I felt elated. Here we are out in the middle of the desert, and we found literally a needle in a haystack. And it finally hit me at that point that we might have saved somebody's life. And I mean really saved somebody's life.
Charles returned home to his family 9 days after his successful kidney transplant. He has gotten his second chance at life.
I was just so thankful that it went as well as it did. I'm just amazed at how well he is now compared to what he was.
My list of things to be thankful for is unreal. The state of my health and the energy level and all that I'm enjoying is so much better than what I was experiencing even on dialysis. There's nothing like the real kidney, and it's really doing its job, and I'm so thankful. There's such a list of people that were involved in the rescue. They're all on my list as far as heroes are concerned, and I'll be thankful for them for a lifetime.
Next, step inside the command center where the calls for help are answered and meet the real-life heroes who save lives. Stay tuned for another episode of Rescue 911. Next on Discovery Health Channel. Real life, medicine, miracles.